Okay, so on our left is the Heljan Class 25, the brand new release that everybody's getting excited about, and behind it is the Bachmann Class 37. Both of these are Type 3, 25/3 locomotives, so on paper they are almost identical. You can see that Tamworth Castle is in a bit more of a unique custom livery, the affectionately known Ice Cream Van Livery with the silver roof and the yellow cabs, and the Bachmann is the standard BR Blue, which is weathered from factory. Now if we move Tamworth Castle out the way and we have another look at the Class 25 from Bachmann, straight away you can tell it's no comparison. So in this video I'm going to show you the details and if anything's actually better on the Bachmann, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Okay, so we're looking at the Bachmann Class 25 in BR Blue. Now, all I need to tell you really about this locomotive was the purchase price. I purchased this locomotive, must have been 6 to 8 years ago, maybe even more, and brand new from a model shop was £58. That's how long ago I bought this locomotive. So the model's been around for at least 15, maybe more years. It originally came out in the old Bachmann packaging, but this one came in the more modern Ice Cube packaging, which is starting to get a bit dated in itself. As you can see, the details are just definitely not there compared to the Heljan one. I don't know if you've seen my review. I'll leave a link just above to the Tamworth Castle review by Heljan, but just having a quick look, if we zoom in, especially at the cab just looks really dull. I know the livery doesn't help and the weathering. The flush glazing definitely doesn't look as clean. You've got the handrail, which is separately applied on the front, just along the top here, and you've got the lamp hooks. They look ever so slightly too tall to me. We have got everybody's favourite sprung buffers. We've got the separately fitted metal handrails. They are metal, that's one good thing. And then we have got the domino head code box with the working lights, and we've got the tail lights. Let me just bring the Loco up on the controller. There's the tail lights. Okay, so looking at the side of the Bachmann locomotive, you can see we have actually got the plated over grille just here. It sits away from the body. I don't know how well you can see that on the video, but it is quite noticeable with the human eye. The weathering, don't look into it too much, it's not the best. Obviously this was factory weathered. We've still got the recessed steps, we've got flush glazed engine room windows, and then we've got the main grille at the other end. Now the grille actually I think is better on the Bachmann. I will get closer and compare them both, but you can sort of see through it. The holes are a bit better on the mesh, and you can see the diagonal structural beam there. That can't be seen on the Heljan one, so I'm going to try and get up close with that and show you that as well. Okay, so just going from the Bachmann to the Heljan one, if we get it to focus, as you can see it is just a plain grille. You can see through it ever so slightly, there's nothing behind it. It is not like it's not a proper grille, but you can't see the cross member like you can on the Bachmann. And while we are here, let's compare the roofs. They are very similar. If we zoom in on the Bachmann, you can see the exhaust in the centre there and the side vents, which we do have on Tamworth Castle. The exhaust is at the same end. Something I would like to mention is how well, I should have mentioned this in my review, but the fan, the red fan, does actually look really good. You can see it really clearly. If we can try and just hover over looking in, that well done to Heljan, that does look really good. Obviously the silver roof does make things look a bit more prominent. So if you put each Loco nose to nose, you can just see straight away which Loco is the one you'd more likely buy. The detail sticks out really well. The handrails, they're actually different on both Locos if you look. The Heljan ones stick out towards the centre of the door. Meanwhile, the Bachmann ones come towards the camera. The driver's cab window is a lot bigger on the Heljan locomotive. The Class 25 did have quite a big cab window. This looks more correct than the Bachmann one, but people are saying that it's still the wrong size. Some people are saying it's too big. If you're interested in that, have a look on RM Web. The bogies. The Bachmann bogies are a really good attempt actually for the age of this Loco. It's not got the pipes depicted like the Heljan or the Timken wheel bearings. You can see you've got the other details as well, like the kick plate on both Locos. Obviously the Bachmann one's weathered and the Heljan one isn't. You've got the Loco data panel to the right of the door. And you can also see the difference in the grills as well. I'd like to point that out. The Bachmann one I think does win on the grills. Detail as well, obviously if we just slide the Bachmann one slightly back, you can see, obviously we've got the coupling, minus the coupling, there's nothing hanging down off that buffer beam, but you can see all the details that are hanging off the Heljan one. I was going to apply the snow ploughs, but I thought just for the sake of comparing how both of these Locos come out the box, I thought I wouldn't fit them for this video. Lights wise, both of these are DCC fitted. As you can see, Tamworth Castle at the front. We've got the domino head code and the working tail lights. It is a bit bright in the garage at the moment, but the cab lights are flickering on and off with the direction of travel. Looking at the Bachmann one, at the back, if we just bring it forward slightly, we've got the domino head code, 2 marker lights at the top and the red tail lights. I think Bachmann did do the domino head code a bit better. The LEDs are a bit more white on the Bachmann, which I dislike, but the black is definitely darker. But to be honest with you, looking at the Heljan one, it is slowly growing on me. In quite a dark room, there is a fair bit of light bleed, but you've got to remember that it was originally the roller blind for the head codes, so I suppose that does answer that one. And the lights are a sort of yellowy. They weren't like LEDs back then, but you can really see the detail of Tamworth Castle compared to the standard Bachmann one. Okay, performance-wise, if we bring Tamworth Castle into shot, the performance of the Heljan one is just like everything else from Heljan. Don't expect anything less. The performance is brilliant. It will almost pull your house down if you let it. You can tell the motor is really strong. They've not tried to do anything fancy. You've got the standard pickups, you've got your standard motor with the flywheel. It's geared really well. It doesn't run as super fast as some Locos, which is more realistic, but it will pull. This thing will easily pull 10 coaches, and it is heavy enough to do so. Meanwhile, the Bachmann, performance-wise on this, it isn't bad. I've never had a problem with it, it's never faltered. It's got the standard pickups, it's got the standard Bachmann motor that goes to the flywheel down to the gearboxes. Both Locos are all-wheel drive and pickup. Obviously we've got 4 axles and 8 wheels per Loco. The performance of this, like I say, it's never let me down. It is always a performer. The only thing with this one, it probably would not pull the 10 coaches. It does pull about 5 or 6. If you've got a slight incline on your layout, anything like that, it will start to struggle just because it doesn't have the weight. And I think the Heljan motor does pip it for performance. Okay, so I've got the Bachmann Class 25 coming now. Just have a listen to it as it comes around this curve. Okay, so just bringing both Locos to a stop. You've probably noticed it in the running shots that the Bachmann motor is ever so slightly noisier than the Heljan one. This is true, but the Loco's not. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't need a service or anything. It's just obviously due to the age of the model. The sound is nothing abnormal, nothing to be worried about. If any other Loco sounded like it, doesn't bother me. But I think the Heljan one just wins on quietness, and obviously it's got the ability to pull more because of the weight. Okay, so which one would you or should you go out and buy? I think personally it all comes down to preference and price. I think price dictates almost everything that we do in this hobby. Can you afford or can you justify spending £153 for this model right here? The Bachmann Class 25s, they hold the value relatively well, but you can pick them up for about £70–80 on eBay or at trade shows. The Bachmann Loco does make much better value and bang for your buck. You could probably get two Bachmann ones for the price of a Heljan one, but like I say, it all comes down to what you're after. If you want the detail, just looking at this shot now, you can see the detail on the front buffer beam to the Heljan one, the Bachmann one, sorry. You can see if you want this to sit on a shelf, then obviously buy the Heljan one. If you don't like Heljan, buy the Bachmann one. Would I buy another Bachmann? Yeah, I'd buy another one. There's nothing wrong with them, and for a good price, why not? But I'd prefer the Heljan one. It just all comes down to the £153 price tag. So to bring this video to a conclusion, I hope it has been a helpful video for you guys. The Bachmann Loco is what it is. It's the cheaper, it's the older alternative. This will probably be the same when Heljan decide to bring out their Class 47 against the Bachmann Class 47 and the Accuscale 37 against the Bachmann 37. Bachmann aren't looking so good these days. This Bachmann 25, I've had it, like I say, many years, and it has covered many literal miles on my layout. It's pulled some really big heavy trains up gradients. It will easily pull a 6-coach train. Do you really want it to pull any more? Depends on the size of your layout. The Class 25s were workhorses in real life, but obviously they weren't no Class 60. The Heljan one, as you can see, it looks absolutely stunning. I am not disappointed. It is worth the price. I wish it was cheaper, as with most things, but I am definitely pleased that I bought it.